बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय पंचतत्वा जय पंचतत्वा जय पंचतत्वा जय पंचतत्वा जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 हरे कृष्ण माताजी थैंक यू वेरी मच माताजी हरे कृष्ण someone can do mataji others
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Advaita Kalasudha Prabhuji, are you on the call?
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, welcome to the ICF forum.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Hare Krishna Pranam. So we can start?
Yes, Prabhuji, the shloka today is 4.15.16 to 21, whenever you can take.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavatir Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 15, Text 16 to 21, chapter entitled King Prithu's Appearance and Coronation. So, Brahma Brahmamayam Varma Bharati Haram Uttamam Hari Sudarshanam Chakram Tatpatnya Vyahatam Shriyam. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Lord Brahma presented King Prithu with a protective garment made of spiritual knowledge. Bharati, Saraswati, the wife of Brahma, gave him a transcendental necklace. Lord Vishnu presented him with a Sudarshan disc, and Lord Vishnu's wife, the goddess of fortune, gave him imperishable opulences. Can someone else read text 17 and the translation, please?
Hare Krishna, Vasudha Mataji, you read the shloka, and Anusuya Mataji, the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dasa Chandram Asim Rudra Sata Chandram Tatambika Somo Amritamayan Ashvams Twastarupasrayam Ratham. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Pranams. Translation by
Dandavat Pranam.
Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Shiva presented him with a sword within a sheath marked with 10 moons, and his wife, the goddess Durga, presented him with a shield marked with 100 moons. The moon demigod presented him with horses made of nectar, and the demigod Vishwakarma presented him with a very beautiful chariot. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Naimisha Mataji, you read the shloka, and Shilpa Mataji, the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Agni Raja Gavam Chapam Suryo Rashmi Ayanishun Bhuh Paduke Yogam Mayau Dyauh Pushpa Valim Anvaham. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Prabhu Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The demigod of fire, Agni, presented him with a bow made of the horns of goats and cows. The sun god presented him with arrows as brilliant as sunshine. The predominating deity of Bhura Loka presented him with slippers full of mystic power. The demigods from outer space brought him presentations of flowers again and again. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Bandaji.
Hare Krishna. Next verse, please.
Hare Krishna, Shanti Mataji, you read the shloka, and Meenakshi Mataji, the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
नाट्यं सुखीतं वादित्रम् अन्तर्धानं च केचराः ऋषयश्चाशिषः सत्याः समुद्रसङ्गमात्मजम् हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Dandavat Pranam.
Srila Prabhupada, the demigod who always traveled in space, gave his thought to perform drama, sing songs, play musical instruments, and appear at the great sages also offered infallible gifts. The ocean offered him a conscious produced with the
Hare Krishna. Next verse, please.
Hare Krishna, Barnali Mataji, read the shloka and Chandrika Sudevi Mataji, the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams.
Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat pranams. Hare. Sindhva parvata nadyo ratha vitir mahatmanaha sutotha magado vandi tam stutum upatastire. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams. Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat pranams.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The seas, mountains, and rivers gave him room to drive his chariot without impediments, and a Suta, a Magadha, and a Vandi offered prayers and praises. They all presented themselves before him to perform their respective duties. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Pranams Prabhuji.
Pranam.
Stavakamstan abhipretya praturvanya pratapavan mega nirradaya vacha prahasan idam abravit. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Archana Mataji, you can read the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Pranams Prabhu. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus,
Jai.
when the greatly powerful King Prithu, the son of Vena, saw the professionals before him, to congratulate them, he smiled, and with the gravity of the vibrating sounds of clouds, he spoke as follows. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So here we see how King Prithu is being given so many different gifts by wonderful various personalities of the universe. In text 16, we hear how Lord Brahma presented a protective garment made of spiritual knowledge. Actually, the body of Brahma is made up of full intelligence. It is material body, but his material body is made up of a very subtle matter called buddhi or intelligence. Just like all of us have a soul, then there is the subtle body and the gross body. Subtle body consists of mind, intelligence, ego, which is man, buddhi, and ahankara. And the gross body consists of the five senses. However, Brahma has his soul, and there is just one body, which is the subtle body of intelligence. That is why he has so much intelligence to become the engineer of the universe. He's not the creator, as many people say. Creator is Krishna himself. Krishna provides the raw materials. Brahma, he's the engineer of the universe. He takes those raw materials and then brings them into different compositions and creates the variety in the universe. And for that, you need a lot of intelligence. What should be made for what purpose, when, how, when it should destroy, what should be its shelf life, everything, for every small atom to the sand, to small pebbles, to rocks, to big, big monuments, formations. All of that is under the direction of Brahma, and he provided a protective garment made of spiritual knowledge. There is a difference between knowledge and wisdom. We can have knowledge, but applying that knowledge is wisdom. Applying that knowledge for the benefit of the soul, that is wisdom. For example, knowledge is knowing that tomato is a fruit. But wisdom, now some people think it's a vegetable. It is not. It is a fruit. Tomato is a fruit. That's knowledge. Wisdom is knowing how not to put it in a fruit salad. Tomato is a fruit, but if someone asks for a fruit salad, you won't put tomatoes and give them. No, it's a fruit, but not worthy in fruit salad. So wisdom is the application of that knowledge, not just a mental repetition, but actually applying that knowledge and understanding what is correct, what is not. And so this protective garment made of spiritual knowledge would protect, because wisdom actually protects the soul. Similarly, Saraswati Devi gave him a transcendental necklace. Here it says Lord Vishnu presented him with a Sudarshan disc. And it is said that King Prithu, he is a partial incarnation of Krishna. And Vishnu presented him with a partial incarnation of the Sudarshan disc. Not the original Sudarshan disc that Krishna has, that Vishnu has. A partial representation of that Sudarshan disc. Goddess of Fortune gave him several imperishable opulences. Lord Shiva presented with a sword within a cover, the sheath that is the cover, which this cover was marked with 10 moons. And then he would take out the sword from that sheath, marked with 10 moons. And Goddess Durga Parvati presented shield marked with 100, like a shield. When you fight, you have a sword and you have a shield. The sword was given by Lord Shiva with a sheath of 10 moons, and the shield was given by Ma Durga with 100 moons. And then the moon demigod presented him with horses made of nectar. Vishwakarma, the architect of the Devatas, presented him with a very beautiful chariot. Then Agni presented with a bow made of horns of goats and cows, sun god with arrows as brilliant as sunshine. The predominating deity of Bhurloka presented him with slippers full of mystic power. Whenever King Prithu would put on those slippers, by his mind, he would say, and those slippers would fly and take him there. So these slippers, they're invested with mystic powers. Many mystic yogis also have such powers. One such, and actually it is said that a pure devotee has all the 8 mystic siddhis. They may not use them. There was one disciple of Shyamananda Prabhu. His name was Rasikananda in Remuna. Rasikananda was a pure devotee, a disciple of Shyamananda Prabhu, who was actually a Shiksha disciple of Srila Jiva Goswami. Srila Jiva Goswami trained 3 Shiksha disciples. They had taken Diksha from different gurus. Narottam Das Thakur, Shyamananda Pandit, and the third disciple. These 3 were together. And they were taken Diksha from other gurus, but Shiksha guru was Jiva Goswami. And so this Shyamananda Pandit, his disciple was Rasikananda. And he was in a village and he was preaching to the villagers about Krishna consciousness, the glories of chanting Hare Krishna, the glories of doing our sadhana properly. And many people were attracted and following his directions. But then one time, a mystic yogi came to the village and he started showing his mystic powers. And everyone was just so infatuated by the show of this mystic power. He could produce ash from the air. He could fly in the air. He could produce food right from there. He would take dip in ocean in one coast and then come out from the other coast instantly and then back. With all these powers, Anima, Mahima, Laghima, Prapti, Siddhi, he could just take his hand out and get whatever he would want, the Prapti Siddhi. Everyone was mesmerized. So much so that they stopped coming to the association, the Sangha of Rasikananda Prabhu. And they would go to this mystic yogi. And Rasikananda Prabhu inquired, what happened? Why devotees, they were chanting Hare Krishna. Why are they not coming anymore? What happened? And so other devotees who were still coming, they said, well, there is this mystic yogi, he has come. Even our devotees are mesmerized by his power and following him. And Rasikananda Prabhu said, what does this mystic yogi do that they're so mesmerized? Oh, he can fly in the air. And Rasikananda Prabhu, this was in the morning. He was just coming out of his ashram. He was doing datun with the neem twigs. Yeah, before the brushes were invented, everyone would brush with the neem twig. And he was just doing datun with the neem twig. And he said, what? He can fly? And he just put down the neem twig, climbed on top of that neem twig, and then he started flying all over around on that neem twig. And then he came down. And everyone was surprised. Wow. And Rasikananda Prabhu said, go and tell everyone that if you chant Hare Krishna sincerely and become a pure devotee, these 8 mystic siddhis will be paying obeisances at your lotus feet. Don't be mesmerized with this temporary show, but be in the path of glory of the soul by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then in the next verse, it is said, the great sages offered him infallible blessings. Rishayas Chashisha Satya is the phrase that is used. Rishayascha Ashisha Satya. Ashish means blessings. Blessings of sages. Everyone gave different opulences and powers. Sages, their biggest power is their blessings, which can transform our heart, not just the externals of the body, but it can transform our mind, and reveal the love of God within the soul. One time, Srila Prabhupada was traveling in the train, and some rich person came to know that Srila Prabhupada is traveling here. He came to the compartment and he said, Prabhupada, I've heard a lot about you. You went to the West, you made so much money. And please show me some miracles. Show us some miracles. And he had his family also gathered around. And Prabhupada said, do you want to see my miracle? My miracle is all these disciples who are sitting in this train compartment, shaven-headed monks, Hare Krishna monks, brahmacharis and sannyasis and grihastas. This is my miracle, the transformation of heart. They used to break all the regulative principles, but here they are following so strictly and chanting Hare Krishna mantra regularly every day. This is real miracle. Do you want to be like this? And that rich man said, no, 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 not this kind of miracle. I will take your leave, Swamiji. And he left. So blessings of the sages helps us, of Vaishnavas, of devotees, helps us transform our heart. So the context of this, why was everyone giving these gifts, is because King Vena was performing austerities on, on the subjects. He was an evil king. And so the Brahmanas, who are the head of the society, they came together and they said, you know what? King is not following our direction, nor is he doing anything for the betterment of the subjects. So they came together, chanted some mantras, and killed King Vena. But from his body, they started churning his body, and from his arms came Prithu Maharaj and a male and a female. The male was Prithu Maharaj, the female was Archi. Prithu Maharaj was a partial incarnation of Krishna. Archi was a partial incarnation of the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi. And that's where it was identified with the markings on his hands and the soles of his feet, that he's a partial incarnation of Krishna. And Prithu Maharaj, that's why he's being adorned with these different gifts. He was the emperor of the universe, not just India, but the entire world. Of the world, not universe. So Prithu Maharaj is considered to be an example of Archanam. There are 9 processes of devotional service. Archanam means deity worship. His wife is Archi, and that's why the process of deity worship is called Archana. Archanam. There are 9 processes of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. Shravanam, to hear about Krishna. The example that exemplifies the personality that exemplifies Shravanam is Maharaj Parikshit, who sat for 7 days and 7 nights attentively hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Srila Shukadev Goswami, who is the personality that exemplifies Kirtanam, which is the second process to glorify Krishna. Shravanam,
Sukadeva Goswami.
sorry, Shukadev Goswami. Who did I say?
It's me, Prabhu. Bhagavatam first was spoken by Sukadeva Goswami.
Yes, that's correct. Who did I say? I may have said someone else. Okay.
Krishna Prabhuji, I was saying Haridas Thakur.
Oh, really? Okay. Yes, Shukadev Goswami. My bad. Sorry about that. Shukadev Goswami is the person who exemplifies Kirtanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam.
Prahlad
Smaranam,
Maharaj.
yes, is the personality is Prahlad Maharaj. Padasevanam, the personality that exemplifies Padasevanam is Lakshmi Devi. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam. Archanam is exemplified by Prithu Maharaj. Vandanam, meaning prayer, offering prayers, is exemplified by Akrura. Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam. Dasyam is exemplified by Hanuman, Sakhyam by Arjuna, and Atmanivedanam
Bali
by
Maharaj.
Bali Maharaj.
Yes. So Prithu Maharaj exemplifies Archanam, very elaborate and clean process of deity worship. Srila Prabhupada said that for deity worship, there are 2 main principles. We can do as elaborate deity worship as we want. But if these 2 things are not there, then all that elaborate worship is not accepted well by Krishna. The 2 important things in deity worship are cleanliness and timeliness. The basics of deity worship is cleanliness and timeliness. As long as we have those 2, we can do as elaborate deity worship as possible. And Prithu Maharaj exemplified that. In those days, the standard of deity worship was much, much higher than what we have today. In Kali Yuga, both cleanliness and timeliness is very, very difficult to maintain because of so many different shortcomings that are there in our bodies in Kali Yuga. And when all of these different opulences were given to Prithu Maharaj, he did not get distracted at all from his duties. One time, there were 4 monks, and these 4 monks, they went to a cave, and they said, today, we will perform Mauna Vrata. Mauna Vrata means we will not speak anything, no speaking. And we will just meditate. So they went into a cave which was dark, but there was one candle, one diya that was kept there, just to give enough light, but not too much, so that they can meditate. And while they were meditating and performing their Mauna Vrata, in the evening, it started becoming a little darker, but the light from that lamp was enough to illuminate enough. And then suddenly, a gush of wind came and extinguished that lamp. And one of the monks who was meditating, he felt that suddenly there's darkness everywhere. He opened his eyes and he said, "Oh, the lamp is extinguished." And the second person, the second monk, he said, "Don't speak, you broke your vow." Oops. He broke his vow too. Then the third one said, "Don't disturb me." Oops. He also broke his vow. And the fourth one said, "Ha ha ha, all of you spoke, but I did not speak." Oops. And he also broke his vow. And in this way, all of them broke their vow for different reasons. The first monk, he broke his vow because of distraction. The lamp was there, it got extinguished, he got distracted from his meditation. Similarly, in spiritual life, there will be a lot of distractions which will come. We should be like Prithu Maharaj. All these blessings and opulences that are given, material opulences, if we are not focused on our sadhana, on our seva, on our prachar, sadhana, seva, prachar, then we'll get distracted. Prithu Maharaj did not get distracted. He was focused on his service, his mission to execute in this world. Sometimes we get distracted by what devotees speak amongst themselves, what someone may say about us, and we just get distracted from our sadhana, from our real goal. It doesn't matter what someone tells about us or thinks about us. We should deal with it, but we should know this should not distract me from my real goal of chanting Hare Krishna regularly, attentively, chanting 16 rounds minimum, of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, following the 4 regulative principles, performing service and sharing this knowledge with everyone. So the first monk got distracted. Second monk broke his vow because of criticism. He criticized the other monk. Hey, you spoke. Instead of focusing on his own meditation, he was thinking about what the other monk is doing. So when we criticize and focus on the faults of others, we get distracted from our goal of pleasing Krishna, pleasing Srila Prabhupada, performing our sadhana bhakti. That's why we should always remember the 3 C's. Never criticize, never complain, never compare. We should never focus on others' faults, not to criticize. Always focus on others' good qualities. Unless we are in a position of an authority, a guru or a parent or a counselor for certain devotees where we are performing the service to improve their faults. Unless we are in that position, we should generally, our attitude should be, let me just focus on the good in others. Because what we think about, what we associate with in our minds, we become that. If we associate with the bad qualities of others in our minds and keep pondering on the bad qualities, those bad qualities will come in us because we are associating with that. But if we associate with the good qualities of others, everyone has good qualities, bad qualities. No one is perfect in this material world. Everyone, anyone you see, there'll be some bad qualities, but there'll be some good qualities as well. Why not focus? It's our choice what we want to focus on. Typically, we choose to focus on the bad qualities, and then eventually that devotee may be purified of his bad quality because of his sadhana and seva. Krishna may purify that devotee, but we will get that back. We should be very careful. Never criticize, never complain. We should always be grateful. Second C is no complaint. Krishna, whatever situation he has given, that is for our best. And that is a fact. We just have to acknowledge that. Because Krishna accommodates our mistakes. Krishna has a plan for us. And sometimes if we get distracted, we make mistakes. Krishna accommodates that and brings and again continues us, takes us to execute what he wants us to execute. That is Krishna's mercy. So we should always be grateful, never complain, and never compare. Am I better than you? Am I better than that person? Am I worse than that person? No, that other devotee, other person is in a spiritual journey of their own. We don't know what the previous journey was, what they have gone through. We don't know what they will be going through. We are just taking a snapshot of their spiritual journey and comparing it with a snapshot of ours. Totally, completely different spaces. For example, if we go into a movie theater and in that movie theater, there is a movie that's going on, we go in the middle of the movie. We don't know what happened before. We don't know what happened later. We are seeing a fight scene going on. And one person is being beaten. The other person is beating that person. And we may think, oh, the person who is beating is the villain and the person being beaten is the hero. The one who is oppressing, but it may be completely different because we have not seen the previous part of the movie and we don't know what's coming. But we judge. We judge ourselves, we judge others based on completely mismatched criteria. So we should never compare. We should always just see the good in others, glorify others, be happy. If a devotee gets blessing, we should be happy. Even if we are feeling envious or we are feeling bad that I know this devotee, he does all these different things, but why is he getting these special blessings from others? But if we try to be happy for this devotee, there is a secret. If we be happy for the blessings that other devotee is getting, just by the fact that we are happy for that, we will get the same blessings. When one devotee gets blessings, that is an opportunity that Krishna is giving. He's seeing how others are reacting. Whoever is happy for that devotee will get the same blessings without having done the other thing, what other devotee has done. That is the secret to spiritual life. When Maharaj Pratap Rudra was being finally embraced by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the Rath Yatra, everyone around was so blissful and happy that Maharaj Pratap Rudra is getting the blessings and embrace from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And because of that, everyone else got the same mercy that Maharaj Pratap Rudra got. Para dukha dukhi, para sukha sukhi. We are happy when others are happy. We are distressed when others are distressed. When we see others in distress. When Maharaj Pratap Rudra was not getting the mercy, all devotees were distressed, but trying different ways in which Maharaj Pratap Rudra, such a sincere devotee, a great king of the land of Orissa, how can we help him get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And finally they said, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after the Rath Yatra, he will dance ecstatically. After the Rath Yatra, he'll go into the Jagannath Vallabha Gardens in Jagannath Puri, and there he will take some rest. At that time, Maharaj Pratap Rudra, you dress as a mendicant, not in king's clothes, as a mendicant. You go there, press the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and sing the Gopi Gita. And when Maharaj Pratap Rudra did exactly as what devotees asked him to do, when he sang Tava Kathamritam verse, ending with Bhurida Jana, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu woke up and he looked at Maharaj Pratap Rudra, that mendicant, and said, Bhurida, Bhurida, you are the most merciful, that you reminded me of the gopis of Krishna, and then embraced him. And all devotees who were distressed seeing Maharaj Pratap Rudra in distress became happy when he got the blessings. They didn't compare. Oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, don't embrace him. They didn't say that. He's a king. Let me expose this Maharaj Pratap Rudra in the clothes of a mendicant. He's actually a king. Mahaprabhu, please don't embrace him. They didn't compare and they didn't want to become envious and try to put him down. They were all very happy and they got the same blessings as Maharaj Pratap Rudra. So therefore, we learn never criticize, complain, and compare. The third monk, what did he break his vow? Why did he break his vow? What did he fall for? Anyone remember what he did? The third monk?
He said, "Don't disturb me. I am."
Yes, he fell to which bad quality?
Intolerance.
Intolerance, anger. He was angry. And he got distracted. He broke his vow because of anger. Krishna says that greed, anger, pride, these are three gateways to lust, anger, and greed are the three gateways to hell. When we are obsessed with something, we have the lust for something. If it is not satisfied, we become angry. It gives rise to anger. Lust gives rise to anger when it's not satisfied. And when it is satisfied, it gives rise to greed. When lust is satisfied, we don't stop there. We want more and more and more. Until we get frustrated, it turns into anger. Lust, greed, and anger, these are three gateways to hell. So we should avoid anger and try to dovetail it in Krishna's service as much as possible, like Hanuman did. He dovetailed his anger in Krishna's service, in Lord Ram's service. Arjuna dovetailed his anger in executing Krishna's instructions. But we should not allow it to overpower our spiritual life, not allow it to distract us. So even when Srila Prabhupada, he would get angry and he would instruct, it would look outwardly that he is angry at a particular disciple. And then once he would say what he wanted to say, again, suddenly he would just switch like this and be very compassionate to another person. And sometimes to the same devotee, and would actually apologize. I'm just telling this for your benefit. That's what Srila Prabhupada would say. If someone is overpowered by anger, it's difficult to then suddenly switch the mood into something else for someone else. That means Srila Prabhupada was not overpowered by anger. He was doing it as a service to correct the disciples so that an impression forms in that disciple's mind, and the mind doesn't distract him further. So that is anger. And the fourth monk, what was he?
Pride. He
Pride.
was proud.
Yes, he said that all of you spoke, but I did not speak. That is again falling to compare. The second monk fell to criticism. Third monk fell to complaining or anger. And the fourth monk fell to compare. He was comparing. By comparing, either our ego becomes inflated or our ego becomes deflated. Both are false ego. Inflated ego is also false ego when we think we are better than others. And deflated ego is also false ego when we are depressed. Oh, I'm nothing. One devotee went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I'm the most fallen. Srila Prabhupada said, you are not most anything. Most fallen is another side of pride. And so he said, you're not most anything. You're just fallen. Not most fallen. But immediately Prabhupada asked, so what are you doing about it? Don't just sit and cry that I'm fallen. What are you doing? Are you chanting Hare Krishna? Are you trying to improve yourself? Prabhupada was very practical. So compare leads to inflated ego or deflated ego. We think we are better than others. Now, someone may ask, well, I am better, I have more, we follow the regulative principles, the others don't even follow the regulative principles. I'm certainly better than them. No. We can think we are more fortunate than them because we have been given this mercy by Srila Prabhupada and the devotees, but never better than them. More fortunate. So in this way, we should always be mindful to not get distracted, just like Prithu Maharaj with all these gifts. He was very focused on his mission, executing his mission and his service. Whenever we say something, we should make sure that we think. T-H-I-N-K. T, before we say something, T means to, is it truthful? H is it helpful? I, is it inspirational? N, is this really necessary? K, is it kind? Before we say something, if we have this filter of think, and we think before we speak, then we will always be able to remain Krishna conscious and chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If there are any questions or comments, I'm not sure if we have time,
Hare
but
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Prabhu, wonderful
Prabhuji.
class. Yes, Prabhu, we do have time unless you want to take questions. We do have time.
yes, I'm good with that.
Hare Krishna. Devotees, anybody has questions, please raise your hands or ask Prabhu.
Prabhuji, could you please repeat the last one, the thing, that acronym?
Yes, T, before we speak, we should think before we speak. T-H-I-N-K. T, is it truthful? H, what I'm speaking, about to speak, is it helpful to others? I, is it inspirational? Will it inspire others? N, is it really necessary for me to speak? And K, is it kind? If it follows, if it follows through or goes through all these filters, it passes through it, then we should speak. That'll save us from a lot of trouble in our material life as well as spiritual life.
Hari bol. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Sunila Mataji, you can ask. Then
Hare
Sarika
Krishna,
Mataji,
Prabhu.
and then Barlani Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranams. Prabhuji,
Hare.
how exactly can we dovetail our anger in Grihastha life, Prabhuji?
By first of all, by controlling it most of the time, but sometimes if we are in a position of an authority uh, to correct someone or our children, for example, if they are doing something which is not beneficial for them, then like Mother Yashoda, she would correct Krishna. She would sometimes be angry when she took the stick to Damodar. She showed the stick. She didn't beat Krishna, but she showed the stick. And she was angry because she was thinking, this is my son. He is he is going out of hand and he will hurt himself. And so I need to teach some lesson. So externally she was angry, but anger did not overpower her. So we can dovetail the anger in Krishna's service, specifically with our children, by showing our anger, but not actually being angry from within. And another way is when another devotee is criticized, then we must defend that devotee. That's how we can dovetail our anger, Srila Prabhupada says. by defending other devotees when they are criticized.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful class. Prabhuji, you mentioned that Prithu Maharaj was the partial incarnation of Lord Vishnu, and even the Sudarshan Chakra that he was given by Lord Vishnu was the partial incarnation. So, do we understand that it had some power, the Sudarshan Chakra, but not the 100% power? And so, also with Prithu Maharaj, he had some powers because he was a partial incarnation. That's my first question, Prabhuji. Second is slightly related to it, which is that if Prithu Maharaj was the partial incarnation of the Lord, why did he have to perform the Ashwamedha Yagyas? Because once he was started reaching 100, then Lord Indra was envious and all that. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you for this wonderful question. The answer to the first question is yes, you are correct. He has partial powers of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And similarly, the Sudarshan disc also, Srila Prabhupada, in the purport, he says, since it should be understood that this Sudarshan disc is not exactly the same type of Sudarshan disc used by the personality of Godhead Krishna or Vishnu. Since Maharaj Prithu was a partial representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's power, the Sudarshan disc given to him represented the partial power of the original Sudarshan disc. This is from the purport to that verse. Coming to the second question. Can you repeat that second question, please?
Yes, Prabhuji, I wanted to know that if Prithu Maharaj was the partial incarnation of the Supreme Lord, then why did he need to perform the Ashwamedha Yagyas? He was almost about to reach 100.
Yes. So he had been given this, he is a partial representation of Krishna's power. And he had come, every incarnation comes with a specific purpose and a duty and a mission to fulfill. And his mission was to demonstrate how to perform archana. In those days, the way is, one is deity worship. How archana means worship. So how you worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That was his mission as an incarnation of Krishna. Just like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he's Krishna himself coming to show how we should perform devotional service. So similarly, Prithu Maharaj was Krishna's partial incarnation with a mission to demonstrate how to worship Krishna, how to perform archanam. And in those days, performing yagyas was a way to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, as his duty, he was performing the 100 Ashwamedh yagyas to set an example of how it should be done. But one who performs 100 Ashwamedh yagyas gets the power to become Indra if he chooses to. King Prithu did not have any intention to take Indra's throne after the 100 Ashwamedh yagyas. He just wanted to set an example of how and why it should be done to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That was the Krite Yadhyayato Vishnum Tretayam Yajato Makhai Dwapare Paricharyayam Kalautad Hari Kirtanat. In Satya Yuga, the way for going back home, back to Godhead, was to meditate on Vishnu. In Treta Yuga, it was yagyas. In Dwapar Yuga, it was actually deity worship. And in Kali Yuga, Kalautad Hari Kirtanat, it's only chanting the holy names. Actually, chanting the holy names is there for all the other yugas as well, But in Kali Yuga, only chanting the holy names works, none of the others. So he had come to establish how to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the Yuga Dharma of that age, which was performing yajnas. And he did not want Indra's throne, but Indra thought, if he becomes eligible for my throne, he will take it. Because Atmaiva Manyate Jagat. We don't see people as they are. We see people as we are. Indra was seeing Prithu Maharaj as how he is. Indra thought, if I was in Prithu Maharaj's position, I would try to get Indra's throne. So why will Prithu Maharaj not? Whereas that was not Prithu Maharaj's intention. So Indra came and we will read how he actually tried to stop the 100th Ashwamedh Yajna. And then Brahma came and told King Prithu that, your purpose is to establish how to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead by worship. By not doing the 100th Yajna, you will please Krishna more than performing the 100 Yajnas. And so he said, that's correct. My purpose is to show how to perform, how to worship Krishna for his pleasure. So we see Maharaj Prithu is more famous for his 99 yajnas than Indra would ever be for his 100 yajnas. Everyone, even in Srimad Bhagavatam, it's recorded for posterity, the 99 yajnas of Prithu Maharaj. Because he showed by his example that the purpose is not to get the power or to execute that ritualistically everything, but it's more important that Krishna is pleased by our efforts than the rituals that we perform. So, does that address your question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yesterday's class, we were told that Prithu Maharaj appeared in Satyug. So by that, then Satyug, they achieve self-realization through meditation. So he
Yes.
was ahead of his times then.
It is not that is the only way, but doesn't mean that we cannot perform yajnas. Or sorry, doesn't mean that we cannot perform yajnas, even though meditation is the way to do this.
True, Prabhuji.
But
True.
I will get back to you if he was really in Satya Yuga or in Treta Yuga. But nevertheless, even if he's in Satya Yuga, doesn't mean that you cannot do Ashwamedh Yajna. Because that is, if that pleases Krishna. Just like in Kali Yuga, the Yuga Dharma is chanting the holy names. But we have temples in which we perform deity worship. Deity worship is supposed to be for Dwapar Yuga. Dwapare Paricharyayam. Then why are we performing deity worship in Kali Yuga?
True.
So it doesn't mean that is the only way, but deity worship helps us in preparing our consciousness to chant the Hare Krishna mantra better. So similarly, even if he was in Satya Yuga, which I will confirm, then still they can perform yajna. There is nothing that stops performing the Ashwamedh yajna for establishing, worshipping Krishna and pleasing him.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams. Prabhuji, very wonderful class, very practical, applicable lessons learned today. I would like to apologize, Prabhuji, while you were explaining about the personality who exemplifies Kirtana. You didn't say Haridas Thakur. I, out of turn, spoke. I'm sorry for that, Prabhuji.
Okay, no problem. But we all know who it is.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Wonderful class. Thank you so much for giving us your association. And there are no more questions. Can we end the class with prayers?
Sure.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha
Pranam
patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
vaishnavebhyo
Namo Namo Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Gauranga
ki
Ki
jai.
Jai. Thank you,
Can I end
Prabhuji.
the class?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Pranam
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Can I end the
Prabhuji.
class?
Pranam.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna to all devotees. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.